Welcome to They Said, She Heard, the podcast where words become turning points. I'm your host, Samantha Gibson. Here we talk with leaders, dreamers, and change makers about one simple question. What was said to you, and how did it move you forward, set you back, or make you rebuild? Because sometimes the words that break us are the same ones that build who we become. Before we get started, I want to make sure, and it's kind of, it's interesting, right? So I do the weekly shout out to our studio sponsor. I'm interviewing her today. So it is Ashley Kildew. She is my lone gal. We have known each other for several years. We work together. We live life together. And without her, the recording of today, the podcast part, the visual part, all of it would not be possible. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I know a gal. So if you guys have any need for anything mortgage related, she can help on a big scale. So let me know, and I would love to do an introduction for you guys. I want to go ahead and do a follower shout out as well. The podcast has been gaining momentum. My social media platforms have been gaining momentum. In fact, it's funny because I'm not a huge technically savvy person, and yet all the social media stuff is saying, hey, do whatever you're doing. You're doing a great job, and we're adding you to more audience. So whatever y'all are doing, the follows, the comments, the shares, the shout outs, all of it is helping. And I just want to thank you guys for that. So it's awesome. We're going to go ahead and hop on in. So the point of the podcast is all about asking this one particular question, and I'm going to ask it to you, and then we'll kind of get going from there. Is that fine?
Sounds good.
Yay. All right. So what was something said to you, and how did it move you forward, set you back, or make you rebuild?
So this is kind of a different answer than what most people have been giving you, and I'm going to be with my hands. So all of my life, even when I was really little, it started, and it wasn't one person. It was multiple people telling me the same thing over and over again. You're weird. Oh my gosh, you're so weird. That's weird. So weird was just like slammed into my head at a very early age. And so it really kind of started messing with me. It really started making me think about like, well, just because I like to make weird noises, or I'm jumping around and I got a lot of energy, or I like certain things that not a lot of people like. And initially it really started messing with me to the point where I stopped being myself. And when I say throughout my life, I mean, it probably started when I was like, started school up until, well, it's still said to me, to this day, it's still said to me that I'm weird or I'm odd, or they look at you in the face and you know that that's what they're saying in their head. And it took a long time, but initially for probably until I was in college, it really drug me down, and it would make me second guess myself. And I would always think in my head, like, okay, is that weird or is that not weird? Is it weird or is it not weird? And it's was constantly playing in my head over and over and over again. And it made me not be who I am. And I'd only be myself with very selective people. But as I got older, it shifted. It shifted into, yeah, you're right, I am weird. And you're not. And you're just vanilla. You're flour. I'm over here. I'm cinnamon. I'm nutmeg. I'm cayenne. I'm all the spices. And you're flour, and you're upset because you can't be this. I never saw it as like they're jealous of me, but I saw that they were hesitant, and it was more envious that they couldn't be weird, not hesitant, not second guessing myself, not being anything but my authentic self. So it's a little weird because it's really shaped my life and turned me into who I am, and made me want to be, helping people, in our industry, I learned a long time ago that being myself really helps people feel at ease and feel comfort when this is the most stressful time. Buying a house is one of the most stressful things you can do in your life. And people just want to feel, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that the more that I was who I'm supposed to be, the weird me, the more love and authentic people were drew to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that literally shaped my life and made me who I am. It's kind of crazy to think back that just weird.
The one word.
Weird. Because it was constant.
Now, okay, so I want to dig in a little bit on that. I want to, I think a couple things, kind of my brain's going in a few different routes here, but one of them is like you and I work together and we truly live life together, right?
Yes.
I am the one, I'm the Texas gal, Mexican, a lot of kids. I wear a lot of mom clothes and I listen to gangster rap.
Yep.
What Up G is on my plate, on my Tahoe. And you are the green minivan mom that likes anime.
Yes.
So from a surface level, you and I are opposite.
Yes.
Would you agree? Okay.
Completely.
Okay. And then yet, even this morning, for example, literally like a real life example, right? So we're coming here to do the podcast, and it's recording day. So we've got numerous guests or whatever. And the weirdness, if you will, which I'm not sure about that word still. I'm going to mull over that. But the thought, right? Like, because you reached out saying, hey, do you need anything? And I said, don't worry about it. I already got the stuff last night. And as quick as I sent that, then all of a sudden I send you the message of, oh God, I forgot. Can you get me a toothbrush and toothpaste? Because I forgot to brush my teeth.
Yes.
Right? And I said, I'll Venmo you, whatever. We'll figure it out. You write me back. And when you wrote me back, it was, I absolutely will, because I also have to go get some deodorant. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I thought to myself, well, I have the deodorant in my purse, because that's the one thing I packed, but I didn't damn brush my teeth or bring damn teeth. And it goes to prove, it's like, I hope that and I say this on social media a lot. I post in a very vulnerable way.
Yes.
I share in an authentic way, and you do too. Mm-hmm. My hope is always, and my prayer, quite honestly, is always that whoever it's meant to be put in front of, it arrives.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And it is received in a way that they receive whatever message or sign that it's meant to give them.
Yes.
And I think something that's really important, and I think you and I are living proof of that, right? You and I have had to learn, I'm quirky and wired certain ways. You're quirky and wired certain ways. I will say our friendship has been one where we've had to learn, especially because we work together.
Yes.
So we've had to learn how each other works, and we still learn.
Yes.
I feel like that's ongoing.
Yes.
Right? But it's the staying curious. You always stay curious. You ask a lot of questions, which I love. I do too. But it's asking the question not to be nosy. It's asking the question because you're trying to be truly of value to what you do professionally, and then even as a friend.
Yes. Yes. And and you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Right. And I know this is crazy, but I don't know if you've ever watched the show Ted Lasso, but he literally says those words. It's like, there's people out there and you encounter them, and it's just like they look at you and they might bully you or shame you, or they just judge you. And it's just like, they're not being curious. They're not asking the questions. So always be curious. And that show just like really did a 180 on my life, but that's another day. But I always try to use those words. It's like, be curious, because I don't know until I know.
Right. And
this was an issue with me and my husband for a long time, because I'd ask a lot of questions. And he's like, it feels like you're interrogating me. I was like, I'm seeking to understand. Yes. I don't know what I don't know. And
that is another episode. We need to talk. That's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It is. And it's, if you don't ask the question, and if I don't know, if I don't hear it from you, my brain can come up with a million different things in a second.
Yeah.
So my insecurities play out, my anxieties play out. But if I ask you the question and I get the answer directly from you, then I know that is what it is. And I don't have to second guess, and my anxiety goes away. So it's a comforting thing for me to do, but it's also something that helps me grow with people and grow with myself. Because, I mean, you got to ask questions, man.
Well, and because the goal of this podcast is to make it into the ears and the eyes, quite honestly, the hearts of people that are in business, right? Corporate, as high up the ladder as you want. If you are just an employee, you guys, by the way, are super important, because without y'all, there would be no need for executive leadership. Just to throw that out there. What I will say though, when you're sharing those things, a leadership skill. So those of you that are sitting in a leadership position, or those of you that want to become a leader, I encourage you to really pause for a second and listen to that. A skill. So oftentimes the higher up in the ladder that you go, and I've seen it firsthand, it's all about KPIs. It's all about the shareholders. It's all about the. Fair enough. I understand. I can compartmentalize that. What is important though, it's instead of it being just a period at the end of the sentence, it needs to have a comma, because I think that the pace of business, it's like if somebody's trying to communicate with you, people are not naturally wired in leadership because they're getting it from all different directions. I understand, but you need to learn the skill set, kind of thinking out loud here, of gain control of the situation because you're the leader. B is you need to make sure that you can be present to listen to what is about to be said. And if you can't, y'all reschedule, book an appointment. I don't care what you do, but you need to pause and you need to make sure that you can be present. And the reason is this: start practicing, and maybe, and I do a lot of practicing in front of like a mirror. Like I do scenarios in my head. Allow someone to ask 2-3 questions at least as a leader. And the reason is, and again, y'all, the ones that are not in a leadership position, but you have ambitions and goals to become a leader of some sort, if y'all can learn this now, listen, I cannot stress enough what value that will bring.
Yes.
Because when you can be present to allow someone to ask 2 to 3 questions deep, you create trust. You create a great relationship. You create a loyal employee. You also create understanding, because how much of the world in business and personally is based on assumption that had you learned the skill to ask questions and then also learn the skill to listen.
Yes.
I'll go on a limb. I ain't no scientist here or psychologist, but 85 to 95% of the problems would be minimized because you're getting direct information.
Well, and a lot of people are afraid to ask questions. Like, you've got to understand that it's that oldest saying in the book, there's no stupid question. There's no stupid question. And the way I like to phrase it, and this is what I tell my clients all the time, is that like, if my toilet just goes on the fritz and I call up a plumber and I'm like, hey, I need you to come fix it. And if he starts telling me like, oh yeah, you know, the pipe and the thing and I have no idea what he's talking about.
Right.
If I ask him questions, does that make me stupid? Because I am not a plumber. I didn't go to school for that. I didn't get licensed. I didn't get certified for that. But me not knowing does not make me unintelligent. It doesn't make me stupid. It just makes me, I'm not a plumber. I don't know that. That's not my jam. So it's a big deal in any type of business, because we've both been leaders. We've both been managers. And if you don't ask the questions, or if you're afraid to ask the questions, you're hindering yourself, you're hindering your growth, and not just your growth, but your growth as a person.
Yes, agreed.
And you're never going to get anywhere with those people unless you are genuinely vulnerable enough to ask them questions as well.
Right.
Not just expect to be like, oh, I'm going to sit here and listen to your questions. You know what? I got questions too.
Yeah.
Like, be in the moment, be present with them, and be vulnerable, because that's going to be something that they're probably not used to, and that they're going to respect and admire about you as a leader, not a manager, a leader.
Yeah. Well, and that's something I admire about you, is you know, and again, the podcast will be growing organically, right? And something that definitely will end up being talked about on many more than one occasion is depression, anxiety, neurodivergency, trauma-informed practices, like all of these different things. Because I think something that really is relevant too is when you as a leader can I call it owning your stripes. Like you really own them, right? It's all about creating that safe space. It's like being able to say like, hey, And in your case, and again, I have the privilege of knowing you personally and professionally.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, and I think that, and I'm about to hop into the other question, but I do want to tie up with this real quick. It is so important. And I say this every podcast so far, every episode, is your words matter, like what you share and how you share them. Because again, you can be as brave and as strong as you want to be. And you can not care what anybody says. You can not care.
Yeah.
You guys, we are wired. We are wired. We are built to care. For as much as you say you don't care, even if there is a hair strand size of care, it's going to be there. What that hairline will do is it creates a fracture, right? And yes, many times it will give you the trajectory to move forward.
Yes.
Fair enough. But there is this moment of pause. There is this moment of insecurity. And we're hearing it, right? Like we're hearing it. This phrase was said. It caused me in some way to pause, digress, move forward, whatever it is. But there is a moment of pause. And so I hope that through these shares, something that is just truly taken away is the impact. It doesn't matter who you are, what title you have, the impact of your words, and then body language. I think that's important too. It's, choose in a world, you choose kindness and love, because when you can choose to come from that place, it requires a personal growth of learning how to pause.
Yes.
Let me not give a face, let me whatever, because because I know you. And yes, now you're embracing the weird, but I also have been on the receiving end of phone calls where you will literally reach out to me, like, just make sure that you didn't interpret this way, right? Like,
I just did that.
Okay. So
yes, it's
because it's real.
Exciting because I'm thinking back, and that's it's going to tie into the next question, but it's something that I'm just trying to be more mindful.
Yes.
Because there's certain situations that I'm just like, I'm fine. That wouldn't make me upset. Okay, but it's not about you.
Agreed.
It's not about you.
That's a mic drop right there. I need an inflatable mic so we can start dropping. That was it.
That was it. Yeah, it's not.
It isn't.
Because other people's perception of you is their reality.
Agreed.
So it might not affect you. It might not be a big deal to you.
Right.
Could very much be a big deal to anybody else in the room.
But in you stopping and pausing to think at that mature level, what it gives you, I think, not only does it give them the opportunity to say if they were offended or if it was taken, whatever it is, right? Or they might not have cared either. But what it does gift you in doing that extra step is it grants you the ability to sleep at peace.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
100%. Okay, so we'll start wrapping up. The last question that I have for you is, what's something you're currently learning for your personal growth and why?
So, like, we kind of dabbled in it already. I'm really trying to focus on strength and what that means to me, right? Especially as women, when we're being raised, it's like you have to be strong. You have to be strong, and that means, in a lot of women's minds, is that carrying the entire load, right? I got to make sure it gets done correctly, because if I don't do it, it's not going to get done right. And it's okay if, I'm doing it all by myself, because that makes me strong. And it's okay if, I'm the only one who's helping with the kids or doing this and we have this perception that everything we're doing is because we want to be strong. And what I'm trying to teach myself, and I'm trying to teach my daughters, is that is a form of strength, but it's not the only form of strength. So what I'm trying to do right now is teach myself that vulnerability can be strength. Being open can be strength. Breaking down and letting your body just release everything that it's carrying onto can be strength. It doesn't have to be this perception of us literally carrying and holding on to and being the strong one in the family where everybody can rely on you emotionally and everybody can come to you with anything. It is that is strength. I don't want to discredit that.
Sure.
But we don't have to be that kind of strong all the time, because if we are, it will break you down. It will wear you down. You'll wither away, and there'll be nothing of you left, because you've given your strength to everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to teach myself new types of strengths, and I'm trying to emulate that for my daughters and be present and knowing that I can be strong in multiple different ways. So that's it. And it is so hard to tell yourself that what you've been told all your life is a weakness is actually strength. It's
mind-boggling.
Yes, thank you, because I had a whole other
gravity.
word. I had a whole
gravity.
other sailor word.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's taking a long time. I have been working on it for some time. So it's not easy, but like you said in a previous podcast, grace.
Yeah.
Got to give yourself a little bit of grace. You have to understand that it's not going to happen like that, because anything worthwhile is going to take time. And you have to go through the hardship, and you have to go through the hurt and the pain, so that way you can learn and grow, because otherwise it's not going to work.
Well, and if you are so rushed to try to get it done, then you have no more reason to live anymore. So we have time to keep working.
Exactly. And and you got to build it up. If you try and build something too fast, it's going to fall over.
Yeah.
Got to build it strong.
Amen. So I am going to wrap us up. You guys know, in true fashion, because I'm trying to keep this thing as organized. And those that know me on a personal level, even professional, I chase white rabbits. So I've been doing pretty damn good at staying the course. That's why I have all these papers. It takes me 100 sheets to stay on track, but who cares? But with that said, I will make sure to tag Ashley on all my stuff, so you can follow her and you can get to know more about her, connect with her. With that said, I'm going to let you draw a question. None of them are the same. You get to read the question out loud. You cannot answer at all. And it's funny because everybody keeps wanting to answer right away. And I'm like, no. So when her episode goes live, you guys will hear the episode, and then you can go like all her social media and you can see her answer. She gets to be as creative or as flower as she wants to be in answering. So there you go.
Oh, that's another thing. I'm learning to stop apologizing.
Yeah, don't.
Oh my gosh.
I'm doing that
Women,
too.
stop apologizing. If you didn't do anything wrong.
Yes.
You can still apologize if you do something wrong.
We're just going to own our answer.
Yeah, we're just going to. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Great.
If you could bottle one feeling from your favorite day ever, what would it be called?
Okay, there it is. She's releasing. So with that said, we are going to be wrapping up. I want to remind you, like I do week over week, episode over episode, I see you. I love you. You matter to me. I hope that you get out of this podcast whatever it's meant to give you in a positive way. I hope you go and have an incredible week ahead. And with that, I will talk to you soon. Bye.